Okay, so now we just brewed some coffee. Okay, you have your cup. Maybe we should. I'm going to do just something before I drink it, because I always like to do this before I taste it. But I always say that we should always taste it before we actually see the numbers here.
Okay.
So, like, to train your sensory skills on how is the body and how is the taste. Is it over under extracted? Is it balanced? Maybe the body is too low, too high for me. You know, kind of. Once you see the numbers, you're already conditioned. You already know what to expect. You know. So the first thing we're going to do, we have this syringe. This is the VST filters. So you can reuse it if you want them. They have like COF and ESP, which is like if you use it now for a filter, you just with alcohol delete the ESP. And you know, next time you reuse it, you'd use it for coffee.
Okay.
If you had used it for espresso, you do the opposite. You would erase this part here. And then you know that it was being used for espresso, so you could reuse it. Because they're quite expensive, so that's why the idea of you can reuse them if you want. Okay, so basically I just attached the filter into the syringe, and I'm now going to immerse a little bit underneath the liquid.
Yes.
And I'm going to pull, which is trying to get some coffee out. It should be easier than it looks like. Just the syringe is already reused. So I have here enough liquid. I don't need more beverage. Now I'm going to take it out, the filter. Why? Because all the insoluble solids are in here. So I don't want to pass it again. So what's the point in filtering? And now I'm going to put it on a glass. The problem is the syringe. I think the rubber is a little bit dried. Okay. And I'll let it cool down here. So now I'm ready to go and taste the coffee. Maybe you should do a cheers like this. How it is? How you feel? This is a Costa Rica geisha. It's freshly roasted, so it still needs to kind of blossom, you know, kind of breathe a little bit. But it tastes sweet to me. Not very high acidity. And
I didn't have any acidity at all.
You don't feel the acidity? No. Okay, it's okay, because I'm very sensitive to acidity. Perhaps you're more sensitive to bitterness, which means that my threshold, the concentration that I can detect is lower than the people that don't have the same sensibility. So I do feel the acidity even when people say there's none. But if there's bitterness, because I'm not so sensitive to bitterness, you would probably notice, and I would say, I don't notice. It doesn't mean it's not there. I just don't feel it. You know,
yes,
it's not.
I feel it now.
The bitterness. I just feel kind of the acidity, because it's still kind of in this part of my tongue. It's still like itching there. You know, like making some sensation there, like almost salivating.
I don't know why I feel it from my outside. It's a little bitter. From how you can say, not from the
tongue, but the high palate on the rooftop of your mouth. Okay. This is something we can train, you know, all the things we are feeling, what does it mean? And unless it's like excessive bitter, which is not, because I would feel it, it's still nice. I think it's a balanced coffee. It's not an amazing, like super high acidity coffee, but I think I even like the body has, it feels like it has a nice kind of body. I don't know, maybe it's the extraction was good. So what I want to explain is that we decided while brewing it to put 20 grams.
Yes. And
Afonso was doing it, and he poured 260 grams of water. Okay. Okay, so to understand what ratio he used, this is the recipe. Recipe means I use 20 grams for 260 of water. So with this one, I can just calculate the ratio. I don't have to do anything. And the ratio, like an espresso, is just dividing the out, or the water in case, by your coffee. So 20, which 13. Is, do you mind to see how much it is?
13.
13. Yeah.
1 to 13.
So 1 to 13. So basically, when we look at this ratio, because in filter we have this ratio, and it's very similar to this graphic. It's very similar to the graphic we had for espresso. What's the difference here? We still have the TDS, and as explained before, which is the strength or soluble concentration, it's a smaller value, okay, because we have, of course, less body. But the extraction, if you see, you still have 18 to 22.
Okay.
This is the ideal, okay?
Yeah.
So whenever you have a higher TDS, but you have the nicest, the ideal extraction, you just have a strong body. Well extracted, but strong. And if it's weak, like you have low than the minimum that I said it was ideal, 115, it's a weak body. Whenever you come into the left side of the graphic, you have a weak and under extracted. So if you're here, it's weak and it's under extracted because it's on this side. All this side is under extracted. Here is well extracted, but is the right TDS, but it's under extracted. So sour, and here is very strong and under extracted. So too much TDS, but sour, the taste.
Okay.
And that right side is the opposite. Strong over extracted. Here is just the ideal TDS, just over extracted, and here weak and over extracted. Okay, so apparently what we did was at 1 to 13, which is this diagonal line. So once we know the TDS, which we're going to measure, we can actually by the graphic see how much is my extraction. Because imagine that my TDS shows, I don't know, 140, imagine. So 140 is this line, horizontal line. I go through this line until the 113, which was here where they intersect, and then I go vertically down and I would see my coffee was under extracted. In brewing, what happens many times is that the coffees you like the most are actually the ones that are not well extracted. They taste good to you, but when you measure it, they're not well extracted. And once you do something to make them well extracted, they don't feel less pleasant.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe it's a hard thing to say, but I would say sometimes just, forget about the device, forgetting about measuring, just do the best you can. Taste it. If you like it, it should be okay.
Okay, yes.
Okay?
The one we like is the better one.
Yeah, sometimes it is. I mean, my personal opinion and experience is that. So how we do it? I already have this cool down here. You open it. It's the same we did in espresso. We're going to squeeze, let it release a little bit, and then put it there without touching the lens and without trying to make bubbles. So we don't want bubbles because they might disturb the reflection of the light. This is enough. We just close it. We press go, so it's turned on. We go to menu and we want coffee because it's filtered, and we do go. And it says it's ready, and we press again, and now it's reading. So first he understood there's a sample there, and now it's reading. And it's saying 1.6. Okay, we are here, 160.
160.
And we know we use 117. So perhaps our coffee is actually well extracted.
Okay.
Okay, but let's confirm. So the formula to calculate extraction is exactly the same we use in espresso. So extraction, what you want to know, equals TDS multiplied by your out, which is in the case I would put here beverage, divided by how much coffee you used, right? Those, okay? So your extraction is actually 1.60 multiplied by 210 that we weighted the coffee after we brew it, divided by 20 grams. And our extraction?
16.8.
16?
Point.
Oh, okay, so it's under extracted.
Yeah.
So this is the opposite we got. Not the opposite. In espresso we got like low TDS, but a nice extraction. Yes. And this we have like a high TDS, not even the ideal one. It's way higher, but under extracted coffee.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So what happens in brewing is that sometimes you could say, okay, but if it's under extracted, it should be quite sour. And I didn't even felt the acidity in the coffee.
Yes,
because when you have too much body, sometimes it kind of disturbs the way you perceive the taste.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why we didn't felt it as sour, because it has all this intensity of the body. Okay, but for me, although it's under extracted, I wouldn't care. I would still drink it. I liked it.
Yes, so am I too, yeah.